More Ravens coming in here to drop those auto turrets off, and the Ravens currently with 1 armor. Oh, a couple Ravens getting taken out there. They do lay down those auto turrets though, and these gun buddies are just gonna lay waste and kill off a Thor. The Viking's gonna come in though for Bob. Bob, and he is gonna wear them away. Man, Bob must be really scratching his head right now. I mean, what can you do against this build? This is such a fascinating build. Greenpine here bringing in his newly repaired Ravens from the north. Gotta lay down that PDD. Yeah, the PDD gonna block off all those Viking attacks, and now they are free to land down those auto turrets. And I mean, some more PDDs could be nice right here to block off the Vikings. Looks like the Ravens are out of range of that PDD over here, and the Vikings are doing a lot of damage to these Ravens, as well as the Thor doing a lot of damage. Oh my goodness, these Ravens getting taken out. But the turrets lay waste to everything, and the defense holds. Greenpine holds with his Mass Raven build, and what is Bob gonna do? The ball's in his court. He is continuing to pump resources into these Thors, into these siege tanks. These are expensive units, mind you, and they are just getting owned by the recyclable energy from the Ravens. So over time, I would argue Greenpine here he's got so many Ravens right now. It's almost like he can continue to do this because he's just gonna starve out Bob, who's running out of resources, I think. Bob is only on 4 mining bases, in fact probably 3, because the main is mined out, whereas Greenpine has full map control with his Ravens. Gonna land down a couple secret missiles there, just doing terrible damage to these Thors on the Xel'Naga watchtower. But oh my goodness, a lot of Thors there getting taken out, or excuse me, Ravens there getting taken out by the Thors. And I would argue there those Thors did a lot of damage. I think that was really good for Bob. But what I wanted to say is, Greenpine is, wow, he has a lot of starports too. He is going to be able to roam the map with these Ravens. He has full map control, I think. He's just got the mobility. He can defend anywhere he wants. He can use the recyclable energy from the PDDs and the Ravens, excuse me, and he can just hold on to this game all day long. It looks like a Thor here is just kind of going butt nasty at the mineral line, but gonna lay down 3 auto turrets. That should be enough. I'm surprised that Bob doesn't have any research into his upgrades for his units. Oh man, this Thor is gonna be close. Looks like it survives. Meanwhile, Ravens coming over here to this expansion. It looks like they're gonna lay a ton of auto turrets. SCV's forced to pull off the line. Is there gonna be a PDD? It looks like there already is one, but it runs out of energy. The Vikings and the Thors doing a lot of damage to these Ravens, and the SCV's all surrounding this Thor to keep it alive from the defensive turrets. The command center could possibly go down. I don't think it will though. Oh man, it could go down. No, Bob is going to lift off and get it out of harm's way. Wow, 6 Ravens on the production tab. Bob's going to keep that alive for now. Tanks here shelling away this command center. Oh, the command center at 120 health. It's getting real close, and I think the SCVs should be able to keep it alive. What I wanted to say earlier, there's so much action on this map. Bob has no upgrades in his mech. He's currently 0-0. That is really a blunder, I think. He should be getting some upgrades. Meanwhile, though, the Raven's going to go over to the gold here and lay a ton of auto turrets. This is a defensive grid of nightmares for Bob, who's now bringing his SCVs, realizes he needs to get those out of harm's way. And the command center here limping away to safety, away from those auto turrets. So, wow. Amazing game from both these players right now, with a total of 8 starports for Greenpine, just pumping these Ravens. Notice how much minerals he's got. 5,000, 6,000 minerals and no gas whatsoever. He's just mining all the Vespine all over the world right now. But you know, with all this extra minerals, I would argue, why not get some barracks with reactors and get a bunch of Marines? Marines are cheap, and they're fairly good in number. It looks like Greenpine here gonna try to defend this command center at the gold, gonna lay a bunch of auto turrets, and I think this might just be enough to hold on. Bob here in a lot of trouble. He cannot allow these Ravens to get overhead. This is going to be horrible for Bob. There's so many turrets going down. And it looks like Greenpine is gonna get out of here alive with the majority of his Ravens. All this mech is just getting torn to pieces by Greenpine's auto turrets. What a game. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thor gets taken out. That third Thor, the other Thor gonna get taken out. This is just so good. This is such brilliant play from Greenpine. He is holding on to all of his expansions. He's saying, no, 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 I'm not going to lose today. Not with this strategy. Could he have found the new window, the new opportunity to TVT? And I gotta say, this game, you know, it could have taken a really different route if Bob had attacked this expansion in the beginning of the game when Greenpine gambled and he went for this command center. I really think that is what sprung him ahead, allowed him to pump Ravens out of 4 refineries. He needs that gas, obviously, and Bob never attacked it early on. I mean, he just never saw it. So perhaps this build is very much reliant on getting that secret second expansion, because you know you're not going to be able to hold it on with conventional forces, and you're not going to have enough Ravens to do it until that gas starts coming in. So perhaps Greenpine gambled, and it's paying off. He now has a huge fleet of Ravens. He is at 142 food. And Bob is at 106, so Bob is actually struggling to stay in this game. He has a lot of minerals, though, just like his counterpart Greenpine, but he's not choosing to pump those resources into anything at the moment. It looks like Greenpine gonna try to secure the final expansion on this map, which is the natural to the 12 o'clock. So if he can hold on to this, if he can grab this, this would be huge, a huge pickup as well. You guys can see, though, actually Greenpine's income is just great right now. Both players sitting on a 63, 71 harvesters. Just, oh my god, that's like not even a, that's a flock of Ravens, a fleet of Ravens, whatever you want to call them. More Ravens coming out. Let's just box select all of this. This is 1, 2. This is so many Ravens and a wolf statue of whatever included in that control group. So Greenpine here just has so many Ravens. This is so huge. It looks like they are going to do a lot of damage. Notice how each time Greenpine engages, he lays down the PDD, and it looks like he's pulled the Marines out of his bunkers as well. So he's just going for an offensive. Could be the end of the game here for Bob. Looks like the Ravens gonna go ahead and move up here, and they have already pre-planned their auto turrets. Is there gonna be PDDs landed down to block the missile turret shots? It looks like no PDDs gonna go down yet. The auto turrets actually are gonna just take out the missile turret, force the liftoff. Vikings shooting some of the Ravens down, but they still remain alive. And wow, 7 Ravens on the production queue right there. What is Bob doing? He's just allowed this command center to just all the SCVs seemingly die there. It looks like, oh, a couple of secret missiles coming out. Boom goes the Vikings. The PDD, they're blocking all the Viking shots, and that is why Vikings, that's why I really thought Vikings were not the answer to this Mass Raven build. It looks like I was proven right there, because the Ravens are just so good against Vikings. And oh my goodness, I think we really need more Thors, but we've also seen that the Thors are largely ineffective when those Ravens float ahead, overhead, and drop off all of those turrets. So really, I think Bob needs to upgrade. He might just be too far behind in this game to pull it out. There's just way too many Ravens. 175 food. Bob at 93. You guys can see he has only 1 mining base left. He needs to get this gold saturated if he wants a chance in this game. Although he still has a ton of minerals, he needs gas. And you guys can see that recycling strategy. Hey, I guess the environmentalists were always right. You gotta recycle, reduce, reuse, rot. Do whatever you need to and you will win the game of Starcraft. And it looks like the Ravens are going to come in here, and oh my goodness, that is so many Ravens, and PDD landing down as well. This Terran mech has its days numbered. This is way too much for them to handle. From all these Ravens, the mech is just going to get obliterated. Notice how the Ravens actually have 3 armor right now, so they are really tough to kill. And Bob, GG's, the white wine tasting German sergeant, GG's out of this game. What an epic battle here on Metalopolis. Greenpine pulling a victory out with a very unconventional, very non-standard build, takes this game for the win. And I guess we should just, go ahead and go through the tabs in case you guys are interested. I'm just going to go ahead and go through these, but I hope you guys enjoyed this game. You guys can see technology there really getting spent for Greenpine. And I hope you guys enjoyed this game. This was an absolutely amazing Terran versus Terran mirror. I did not expect to see 51 Ravens. Good lord. 51 Ravens. I should have done this game drunk. That would have been an awesome drunk cast. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that broadcast. Ship weapons too. I don't know what that was all about. Ravens don't shoot. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that broadcast. And of course, stay tuned for more hopefully great HD broadcasts to come. Thanks a lot, guys. HD. Signing out till next time.